Okay, everybody, welcome back to our distance learning modules. This is just a quick walkthrough on how to get your submissions, regardless of if it's just the regular old scale or if it's the scale with the background track that we're going to get to, onto FlipGrid. So the main way that I plan on kind of providing you some quality feedback is I'm going to be posting a FlipGrid assignment for pretty much each section of this distance learning module. As with everything in the distance learning, these FlipGrids are completely optional. It's just the only way that I'm actually going to be able to see what you're doing and provide you with quality feedback. So I would strongly encourage, if you, one, feel really good about your playing and you want to show me, record yourself and post it to FlipGrid. And two, if you just are like, I don't get this, here's what I have. Whether it's with the full range scales or whether it's with the fermata drill or the soloing with the background, whatever section of it, there will be a separate FlipGrid for you to post to. And as soon as I see your post, I will try to give you some kind of feedback, either great job, keep on going, this sounds great, or maybe even setting up a time for a video conference where I can contact you on Teams and we can kind of talk through and answer any questions. So FlipGrid is going to be the primary method that you are able to communicate to me what you're doing well with, and what you're struggling with, and you want some feedback on. So I have my trusty one-to-one device here. This is my personal laptop, but it's the same as yours. And what I've done is I've kind of unlocked the modules right now. So if you're at home and you're like, why did Mr. Myers just unlock 8 days worth of modules? I'm still building this, but I wanted to show how you're going to do this. So in the actual module, there's this big green button you'll see, and it says moderated. And what that means is when you post something, nobody else in the class can see it. It just comes to me. But that includes you. You can't see it either. It'll just send it to me, and you won't get a chance to kind of like look back at it. So don't email me and say, I submitted it, but it doesn't show up, because it won't. It's hidden, because I didn't want anyone else to see it in case you were nervous about sharing something that you weren't 100% on. So it just comes to me. I will get a notification that there's been a response posted to the FlipGrid. So what you're going to do is you are going to click that button. Now, if you're doing something where there's a background track involved and there's additional sounds behind you, it's not just your instrument, you're going to want to have a second device, whether it's an iPad or even your parents' phone or your phone. If we're using a YouTube background, I'm going to have that on my phone that's linked up to my nice big speaker back here. So that way the only thing that my computer's doing is just recording me. It's not trying to play a background track and record. That gets kind of weird, and I think sometimes the mics will cut out on your school computer. So I'm on my FlipGrid. I'm just going to click record here. It's going to count down 3, 2, 1. It's ready to go. I am letting my reeds soak because my heating system is running today and my house is super dry. FlipGrid's rolling. I've got it set to, I think, a minute and a half, but I can adjust and make that longer if you need. And once you're ready to play, okay, everything works. So I simply hit play. Right, I do my recording, I stop the background track, and I hit pause on FlipGrid. Once I've paused the video, that means I'm done recording. You can actually record in different cuts if you needed to. You could say, that's one take, and you can actually record a couple different little clips all in one submission, and then you can click next. You can proofread it, make sure everything's good. You click next, and you are able to take a selfie. That goes on the cover of it. You can cover your face with emojis, I don't care. If you want me to see something you're doing with your technique or something like that, please make sure that the camera can see your fingers or your embouchure or whatever it is that you have a question about. Because the more I can see, the more I can provide feedback on if you would rather just kind of have the camera point up to the ceiling and record the ceiling because the only thing that you really care about is sharing the audio. That's fine too. FlipGrid just always pairs the audio and video. So I don't have to see you. If you'd rather just record the ceiling, that's totally fine too. But make sure that I can really hear it and that sounds good. And then I click next, and that will allow me to type my name in, and I can submit my video. And it'll kind of flash at you and say, congratulations, your video has been submitted, and you just click the complete button and you're done. Now, I just submitted that, and if you look, it says 0 responses have been submitted. Again, that's because it's moderated, you can't see it. So that is how you'll post to FlipGrid. There will be a ton of different options for where you can click and where you can post, and they'll show up as assignments because that's how it allows me to integrate FlipGrid with Canvas, but you won't have to do them. You'll see that they're set to 0 points. So please don't think that if you don't submit it, you're going to lose points during this time. It doesn't work that way. This is just how I'm providing feedback to my students. Hope this makes sense, and happy practicing.